I'm Riley Wilkes.
I'm Jack Elliott.
And we're
Good Foot Forward.
And today we're going to talk about the most iconic band ever, the Rolling
Beatles.
Stones.
The Beatles.
The Rolling Stones.
The Beatles. That's why we have this.
Well,
right here.
we have this here too, and I got my little shot glass.
I have my deck of cards.
Okay. There's a little disconnect going on right now, I think. The Stones are obviously better.
I mean,
for plenty of reasons.
the Stones are all right. They definitely had their moment, right? But the Beatles.
All right.
Are where it's at.
I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
I feel like the Beatles having two separate movies made about their music.
Uh-huh.
I'm not talking like biographies or like, dramatizations of their life, which there are plenty of those too. I mean movies specifically made about their music across the universe and yesterday. Right? Rolling Stones can't say that.
That's true. The Rolling Stones can't say that, but what's a movie? The Rolling Stones, their music's in a bunch of movies. It's one thing, I can make a movie about Riley Wilkes, and, sing some shit. But to have music that I've written put in other movies that have nothing to do with the particular artist is a whole other argument, in my opinion. That's just me, though. The Stones, despite, because they had the same fan base as the girls kind of thing, just as crazy. But they didn't stop touring the same way the Beatles did. And they're still touring, and and have probably played in front of more than any other band ever. Just saying. And have the biggest tours of all time.
Sure, you could say that. But
I'm going to say that.
It's easy for the Rolling Stones to keep touring when the obsession over them isn't anywhere close to the level of obsession with Beatlemania.
Yeah.
The Beatles had to stop touring.
Did they?
Because they played Shea Stadium. They couldn't hear. They couldn't even hear themselves when they were singing.
Yeah, well, I don't think Keith talks about not being able to hear themselves either.
Yeah, it's just because Keith is deaf.
That's because Keith's just a deaf old fuck. He's there with his yeah, I can't hear myself.
I can't even hear myself now.
Still can't hear myself.
Am I talking or is this all just in my head?
You have your furniture.
Is it in my head? That's a different band. But that's really the moral of the story. The Who is the best band.
the Who's way better than either of these.
Just kidding. The Beatles. All the way. Beatles. There is...
Plus...
You can't... The words... I'm going to collect myself. The genre crossing abilities before the genres even existed is something that the Beatles did in a way that the Stones never really pulled off, right? The Beatles had a period where they were psychedelic rock. The Stones tried to copy them, tried to be psychedelic for an album, and it didn't work. And they gave up.
Yeah.
They're kind of what you would call a one-trick pony.
Well,
the Beatles, they could write any song and it would be a hit.
The funny thing, too, though, to counter that argument, is that the Beatles, along with everyone else, were pop in the early 60s. The Stones weren't. The Stones kept to their roots the whole time, playing R&B, blues, because that's what they grew up listening to.
It's the only thing they could do.
And that was not they did a samba.
They played one samba.
They played a samba. And the Rolling Stones could actually put on a show. Mick and Keith were actually performers. Whereas, the Beatles would stand in one place and kind of just look cute and,
They were cute.
Play I Want to Hold Your Hand and in one place. And the Stones would put on a show.
That's why the Beatlemania was a thing. There was sex appeal. Ringo?
Dude.
He's one of my...
And Mick Jagger's not?
Anybody can have a big mouth and giant lips.
Yeah. That's cool and all. I'll just say this, too. Keith could do circles around John and George playing guitar. Because, they didn't really do anything, super special guitar-wise, I'd say. They wrote good songs, but Keith could write really good guitar stuff. Whereas,
I'm curious how easily Keith could play Here Comes the Sun. It's a tough song to play.
It's a tough song to play.
The guitar work is on a level.
I don't
know what level, but it's on a level.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if George could play Can You Hear Me Knocking?
Probably not.
So,
particularly because he's dead. I want to actually wrap this thing up, if that's okay with you, with a story.
Okay,
right?
Tell us a story.
We're gonna go on an adventure. Go ahead and
I'm going on an adventure.
Close your eyes. Shut your mouth. Close your eyes. Close them. Seriously, I can see you there looking at your phone with your eyes open. Close them. Thank you.
We're gonna do an ASMR video.
Close your eyes and imagine you're walking down the streets of Paris in France. You come across on the side of the street.
Oh my God.
A little shop, right on the side of the street. Really nice old French man. You walk up and you say, "Bonjour," in your awful American accent.
Bonjour.
And he says, "I speak English," and you say, "Thank God, my French is so bad." And he says, "I have this thing for you." You say, "You have a thing for me specifically?" And he goes, "Yes. This fortune teller lady told me that I would see this kind of somewhat decent looking American and that I would need to give him a present. Or her, depending on who you are. This is your story." And you say, "Okay." And he hands you a music box. Beautiful ornamented music box. You start playing it. What is it that you hear? Shut up. Now you can open up your eyes again.
So cute.
Wasn't that beautiful?
That was nice.
Yesterday, not Ruby Tuesday. So
I think we can agree to disagree on
I think
this.
I won.
I think,
but
see, you can say that all you want.
Honestly, you know what it really comes down to? It doesn't come down to two music nerds arguing.
Mm-hmm.
It comes down to what everybody else thinks. So you need to tell us what you think.
Yeah, throw it down in the comments. Let's hear what you have to say. The Beatles?
Or the Rolling Stones?
Or the Rolling Stones?
Who wins?
Who wins?
Nobody wins. It's music.
Music is a language that doesn't speak in particular words. It speaks in emotions. And it's in the bones. And if it's in the bones, it's in the bones.
Wise words.
You know what John said? I am the walrus.
Yes. That was fantastic. And scene.